In algebra, some of the expressions that we work with are very simple. Single numbers like 5 or 2, or single variables like x or y. And then we also have more complicated expressions that we make by putting these simple expressions together. So here we're multiplying some stuff and we put something in an exponent. Here we're doing some multiplication and addition. Here we're doing some multiplication and subtraction, right? The more complicated expressions are made by putting simpler expressions together. We do the same thing with statements. A compound statement is a statement that can be broken up into smaller, meaningful parts. And the parts are themselves statements. And this is easier to see when you see an example. A compound statement can be broken up into smaller statements. A simple statement is a statement that can't be broken down in this way. So any statement is either a compound statement, it can be broken into smaller parts, or a simple statement, it can't be broken up. And of course, ultimately, when we have a compound statement, we're going to break it up into simpler statements. So here's an example. If it rains on Saturday, then I do the laundry on Sunday. This statement has two smaller parts. It rains on Saturday, and I do the laundry on Sunday. It rains on Saturday, that statement is either true or false about any particular Saturday. Any particular Saturday, either it rains where you are or it does not rain where you are. I do the laundry on Sunday is likewise a simple statement. On any particular Sunday, either I do the laundry or I don't. Notice I can't take any smaller parts of this and have it be a meaningful statement. I couldn't say just, it rains, right? I would need to get more specific about when it's raining, because it certainly does rain sometimes, but that's not a meaningful part of it rains on Saturday. Or I couldn't just say on Sunday, right? Though that wouldn't be a statement. On Sunday what? Tell me what. These smaller parts are not themselves statements, so we can't do this kind of breaking down with them. In other words, these two simpler parts are simple statements. They're combined to make the original compound statement. The compound statement doesn't just say the two simple statements, it does something else as well. The compound statement also represents a relationship between the two simple statements. Now, when we're breaking a sentence down into its simple parts, we need to be careful because in English, in natural language generally, it's sometimes hard to tell whether the two separate simple statements combine together to give the same meaning as the statement that we have that uses some sort of a conjunction. Here is an example. This is a compound statement. Alice has a dog and a cat. This sentence is telling us two facts about Alice. Alice has a dog, and Alice has a cat. Right, so if I went up to you and said, does Alice have a cat? You could look at the sentence that says, Alice has a dog and a cat, and you would say, yes, Alice has a cat. Same thing with Alice having a dog. There's no additional information contained in that sentence that's not contained in the sentences Alice has a dog plus Alice has a cat plus the word and. This next sentence has almost exactly the same form, but it's not a compound statement because it contains extra information. Alice and Bob had a baby. Now, this has the same form as the Alice has a dog and a cat sentence. So we might think this is a compound of Alice had a baby and Bob had a baby. But if I told you Alice had a baby on Monday, and I told you Bob had a baby on Tuesday, you would probably think something very different from what you would think if I told you Alice and Bob had a baby. If I say Alice and Bob had a baby, I mean that Alice and Bob have the same baby. They are that baby's parents. So because that sentence contains that extra information that Alice and Bob had a baby together, we can't quite treat it as a compound sentence. Now, here's the good news. I'm not going to throw sentences like that at you. I'm not going to throw out sentences like Alice and Bob had a baby and ask you to work with them in a formal logic sort of way. But this is something that you should be aware of outside of math class and in real life.